say so.
Doesn't look like it to me.
Doesn't look like it?
There's only two kinds of people that predict the weather around here. Fools and newcomers.
The weather come to you.
Right now, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I'd be scared it'd be like polar bears or something.
No, ain't no polar bears here, but you wait till you south of that one.
Wolves.
I don't know about wolves. Coyotes. I don't really know if there would be cougars around here. There might. Bobcats, maybe.
We got our blankets.
Tracks, man. You see the tracks?
Stay
Yeah,
warm.
they do. So now they're just kind of for decoration and something to listen to. Back whenever it was only horses and buggy and everything, each family would have a different chime of bells. So
Two
you'd be
legs.
going around a corner or something
There are
and
two
you hear a different
legs.
bell. And it knows somebody's coming around the corner or over the mountain. Almost know who it was if you knew all the chimes. Yeah.
So what's your predatory animals around here?
So they reintroduced wolves last year.
Really?
Probably not a good thing.
No, it's not. Not when the original wolf that was here was more of a red wolf.
Right.
They reintroduced the gray wolf. So it
Mm.
wasn't really a reintroduction, it was just an introduction.
Right.
Mountain lions,
There you go.
bobcats, lynx, coyotes, stuff like that.
Okay.
Bears don't bother.
Bears?
Yeah, I mean, we had a problem last spring with a bear that was just getting into our dumpster. There's black bear here.
They don't bother cattle or anything like
No. No, they're more skittish than anything. You run up on a black bear and they're gonna run from you. They're not gonna try to fight you or anything.
Oh, we don't encounter any predatory animals.
Not there.
We just lost
That's
our
the beauty of
box
Louisiana. You don't
dumpster
have
to
to
where he
worry
couldn't
about
get in
that. Yes, you
there
do.
and run trash everywhere. And
Different kinds,
He went and
possibly,
moved on
but
to the
they do
neighbor.
have predatory animals in Louisiana.
Yeah, everywhere you go,
Yeah.
you're gonna have predatory
I know.
animals. So you can't
that. You
really,
got none of them
you can't
nasty
really
ass
say
hogs up there?
No, we don't have any of those.
Hope
You
they
want
do
some?
not
I'll bring
none
you
of
some.
I don't need any.
I hope they don't come here.
The only thing I found that works is vet fence. You got a vet fence every damn place we got.
See how far light shines on everything.
Like you said, if half of these resistant, they'll go to somebody
Just
else.
shines for
The thing about net
Lighting
fence
up
here
this
is the
field.
snow gets on it and just pulls it down, so it's not working.
Yeah, you can't
predatory
do it here.
animals don't say that, just, you know what
No, they're gonna do it here.
Hopefully I don't think so.
Is there an open season on the furrow of
Oh,
woods
yeah,
and
you can
stuff?
shoot them suckers here.
Year round, yeah.
it's good.
The young ones taste a lot better. Yeah, you don't want a big
You
one.
don't want a big old one. They just go shoot on. Yeah, you don't ever know
But
what
the
they're
young
saying.
stuff
They eat
is
everything.
good.
Big one.
It's more tricks. See how?
Ants, private property.
How big are they?
They see this building. It's a warm area. Safe area.
I don't eat them. I see.
No, I mean nasty disposition. Decided to creep.
I don't want artists to go out town and do all this. And do anything.
Some places you would the ground's too damn hard, they'll tear the hell out of it. And that's what's bad is, like in my a lot of my hay fields, they used to get in those fields and they dig them up so bad, but when you went back to level it, you couldn't level it because they eat about a third of it.
The dirt.
They eat the
He's
dirt
like,
and
where
shit
did they
out.
take my dirt?
You're gonna shit it out somewhere else, and you always got them holes. You never can fill them back in. Wow. So we started. I don't know how many years ago we started that.
Not quite.
Put a fancy name on it, like Texas bacon. Mail order.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's just so many.
There's just so many. I went to a CE class, like my pesticide application
Wind died down.
class one time, and they were talking about. They said domestic pig, they have piglets.
Cats
She
laying
has
in the
4
trees.
pigs, or 5 pigs, 3 of them have survived. That wild boar,
But they don't breed back as fast.
they don't breed back.
That's the other
They're
thing.
normally like twice a year they'll breed back. That wild boar will have 8, and they always said 9 will survive. and they don't even have to be a year old. Those sows, when they're a year old, they'll start. So if they have four females out of 8, and then those wild boars, they say 3 times a year they can have babies. It's almost 4. Yeah. Oh. You know, you start multiplying that. I mean, they're in the millions in Texas. Well, last I heard, it was they figured over 2 million of them. I think that's helicopters and all. Can't cut the numbers fast enough. No, when they're breeding that fast. No, that's what I mean. They're just breeding, and then you got them little ones, and they'll be breeding within a year. They'll all be bred. Yeah.
Where's the rabbits?
Yeah, rabbits, basically. It's horrible. I don't know.
And the bigger, the smarter.
They came up with some kind of baked poison on them. And I don't know. I've heard mixed.
Too many other critters eat the same stuff. I don't think it's a problem.
They wouldn't eat it. What I heard from that one last class.
Oh, they get smart.
They got smart.
They
That's,
smell
that
it.
is
They
a
know.
very smart animal. That's the other
That's
thing.
what like rats do. They take a bite of the poison and they pee on it and let the other rat. There's road that they only
What's that?
Yeah, so then they know. They know
A
that.
bright light.
They kind of have their own little system.
Just get some lights on it, don't
Dogs would be so smart except those traps. You'll catch the little piglets in the traps. You'll never catch the big ones. Because it's like they communicate and tell everybody don't go there because it's a trap.
And we did that. We saw they were in our backyard one evening. We were going to bed, and I'm like, I hear baby piggies. And I'm like, Darren, there's little pigs. Well, the little babies were tearing up my yard. All my nice grass. The big ones were standing outside the fence. They were trying to make sure. And I tried everything. I heard they didn't like music, so I put the radio on outside. I was trying everything.
They started dancing.
I'm trying everything. They got immune to everything. And then he said they used to never be around, like when he'd be on a tractor or something. Now they just come out in the open. They don't even
like
care.
pigeons in the city. It
Yeah.
doesn't, you know,
Yes. Yes.
they're not
Exactly.
startled.
Yeah. It doesn't
What
bother
kind
them.
of trap is it? Like a bear trap, blood traps? Or
Oh, well, no, you tried all kinds. We even tried some that they pushed through. It was like one was like this,
Like one was like a number 6.
I called it the 6
because they could walk into it.
but then they couldn't push out.
And it would push through the panel, but then they couldn't get back out.
Yeah.
But some of them were so
lies.
smart.
The lies.
Some of them were so smart that there's like a 5-foot high panel, cattle panel.
Don't find it.
They'll stick their hooves
Really?
in, they'll start climbing up them.
Oh.
That one time
That
we
one,
had,
I dropped that one sow. She was about to go over the top and I shot her.
one time we had a whole bunch of little
I was
ones.
talking
We
about
had a
those
friend
poles.
who we knew was raising them and giving them to.
He was feeding them out and he would sell them to them. Just people wanted it, you know. And that ain't so bad. If they do that, well, they sell them and they slaughter them.
Yeah,
But at
that's
least you,
all right.
but at least you know what you got in them.
Yeah.
Because he fed
I
them.
said,
You said
I want to get
I had
to
times
to scare.
We don't go into that.
Everything.
Crap in the
You would know if you could. In the dark, it's kind of scary. That's why I don't like going in the dark.
I'll stick to my feet.
Ooh, that wind blowing out. Cold morning.
Aren't you supposed to go skiing tomorrow?
No.
Yes. Yes.
15? No, it's supposed to be in the 20s.
He said, aren't you supposed to be going skiing?
Oh, yeah.
Fresh Mountain. I have the fresh air, but it's different between.
I know she was thinking, I was talking about temperature. No, we were not. We were talking about the. You still haven't made my choice yet. Actually, it's what I'm just doing tomorrow. Or even another time. Go skiing.
Tomorrow I'm usually down.
I've learned. I'm honest. I learned.
You got it planned out just right.
Maybe next time we'll do. All we're gonna do.
It's not our first time this year, doing it.
The next place we go.
What is that?
I think we're going
Is he right on time?
What else?
The bus? Is he using no first?
Is that a good?
Yeah, I thought it's still.
What is that a
Get
joke?
rid of all of us. It's still heavy sled.
Yeah, about 1,500 pounds.